This evening, I thought that I would redo a video that I made when I first started this channel because I feel in my heart that I did not do justice to the video of the individuals who I was discussing in that video. So today, we are going to take a look at our legendary Selmon Brothers from the University of Oklahoma. But first, can I please ask you to like the video? And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing because I upload a lot of content about OU past, present, current football program related articles. So I sure wouldn't want you to miss any of that I upload. And can I please ask you to share the video because sharing is caring. I'm also pleased to announce that I have a partnership with Devil Dogs Brew and Beans, a veteran-owned coffee brand that takes pride in brewing coffee blends that embody the spirit of the fearless and dedicated Marine Corps, where every sip is a celebration of strength, camaraderie, and exceptional taste. Get 10% off your first order of Devil Dogs by using the promo code Sooner Legends at checkout, and you will also receive free shipping in the continental United States. I also have a link down in my description where you can go directly to Devil Dogs. So let's discuss our legendary Selmon Brothers, shall we? Their names are Lucius, Dewey, and Leroy, and they come from a family of 9 siblings total. Their mom and dad were named Lucius Sr. and Jesse. They're native of Eufaula, Oklahoma, and they played football at various times for Eufaula High School. And one of my favorite stories of the Selmon brothers was when they was in their youth, they would play football out in the front yard, and Lucius made up the rules as they went. So, and they were farm boys. They had a hog farm, and I've heard Lucius tell many times when a hog would root out of the pen, Lucius had to actually carry that big 400 or 500 pound boar to back to the pen and put him back in. And them boys were they were stronger than country horses ever thought about being. But they come from a Christian family. Mr. and Mrs. Selmon they had strong faith, strong convictions, and very, very family oriented. And so God bless you, Mr. and Mrs. Selmon, for allowing us to have the Selmons at OU. So Lucius was the first one of the brothers that came to OU. He was recruited by Larry Lacewell, then defensive coordinator for Oklahoma. Now we almost missed out on Lucius. Now I can't think of the player's name. Y'all might jump down in the comments and remind me. But we were hard recruiting a player from Midwest City, and we missed out on him, and he went to Oklahoma State. Well, Lacewell had some tape on Lucius, so they go up to recruit Lucius. Well, Lucius, meanwhile, is thinking he's going to be the next Jim Brown for the University of Oklahoma because he played fullback at Eufaula High School. But Chuck Fairbanks thought that Lucius was undersized, so Barry Switzer told him to stand on his tiptoes when he made his official visit. So Lucius got to campus, and he said he looked around, he seen Greg Pruitt, Grant Burgett, Joe Wiley, all them great running backs we had in the 70s. And so he ended up being nose guard for OU. And then in 71, the two brothers came, Leroy and Dewey, and they started as true freshmen. So in 72 and 73, we had all three of the Selmon brothers on the defensive line. Now, You can go do a poll in Norman, Oklahoma right now and do a survey and ask them who is the best defensive lineman that has ever set foot at the University of Oklahoma. And I guarantee you 90 to 95%, maybe 100%, will tell you that the Selmon Brothers was the best defensive lineman that ever set foot at the University of Oklahoma. And that's true too, and the reason you didn't see them is from 73 to 75, we were on probation. And Barry Switzer feels, had we not been on probation, our TV rights was taken away, we couldn't go to a bowl game, that their popularity would have catapulted into the realms of college football. You can ask not Chuck Fairbanks. You could talk to legendary coach Tom Osborne from the Nebraska Cornhuskers and ask him, Coach, out of all your years playing OU, what was the best defensive lineman you ever seen? He'd probably tell you the Selmon Brothers, because I've heard Coach Osborne talk about the Selmon Brothers a lot. But they were model students, straight A students. But not only that, they were exceptional on the football field. Like I think it was 1974, I believe. Dewey recorded 22 solo tackles against the University of Texas. That is the God's honest truth. And they just, there was just something about them that I can't put a finger on it, but you can't put a finger on greatness. They just excelled at everything on the gridiron that I've ever seen in my years of watching OU football and being a fan. And of course, Leroy, he went on to be a great at Tampa Bay. He got drafted in '76, and that was the newest expansion team of the NFL. Well, Leroy, he becomes all pro up a dozen times, went to 4, 5, 6 Pro Bowls. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame. He was the first Buccaneer to have his jersey retired. I mean, he made his mark at Tampa Bay. And of course, Dewey, he got, according to Barry Switzer, that year that Leroy got drafted, Leroy was the number 1 overall pick in the '76 draft. Number 2 was Dewey to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also. And Dewey played for a short time at Tampa Bay and then went to the San Diego Chargers. Lucius, he went and played in the World Football League. He actually got drafted by the New England Patriots, but he went to the World Football League. And then he was coach at OU. He was D-line coach and linebackers coach, I want to say, up until 1994. So they may, and also if you want another Selmon that's in this legacy of the Selmon, Zach Selmon, Dewey's son, is the current athletic director at Mississippi State. So I got some stats on the brothers and some individual awards for them. Starting with Lucius, he was unanimous All-American in '73 and was named Chevrolet ABC Defensive Player of the Year. He was Big 8 Conference Player of the Year, Big 8 Conference Athlete of the Year, and Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year. And he finished 2nd in the Outland Trophy balloting and 7th for the Heisman Trophy. His career stats at OU was 255 tackles, including 31 TFLs for 144 yards. And in case you don't know what TFLs is, that's tackles for loss. I'm sure everybody knows that, but Just thought I'd give the acronym meaning. Dewey, his career stats at OU was 325 tackles, 25 TFLs for 109 yards, three forced fumbles, and two fumble recoveries. He was a two-time first team All Big Eight and contributed to four straight Big Eight titles from 72, 75, and also contributed to us winning back-to-back national championships in 74 and 75. Leroy, his stats at OU, he had 325 total tackles, 40 sacks, 8 TFLs for 184 yards. He also was a consensus All-American for 74 and 75, as his brother Dewey was. And for 75, he was also the Lombardi and Outland Trophy winner in 75, and he also was, along with his brother Dewey, was a two-time national champion on the 74 and 75 team. And he was UPI Lineman of the Year for 1975. And of course, Lucius also he coached in the pros for Jacksonville and a few other teams. Both, of course, we lost Leroy a few years ago. Got rest in peace, Leroy. But they still are big time contributors and donors to the University of Oklahoma. As a matter of fact, during when Brent Venables, his first year, I think it was at the K-State game, the university unveiled the Selmon Brothers statue before that game. So there you have it. There's ultimately my three favorite players that ever set foot at OU football. They mean the world to OU. That's just how I feel about them. Well, God bless y'all. Be nice to each other because tomorrow's not promised. And this is the Sooner Legend. We'll see you on the backside. Boomer Sooner.